Another one. What's up, everybody? And it just keep coming. It just keep coming, man. Man, oh man. See, you gotta understand that these women are trying to make a power play in the midst of George Floyd and all this togetherness and all this stuff. They're activating a hive mind, and this is what happens when you got a group of women who actually get, how can I put it? This is what happens when you let a group of women get away with the kind of shit they get away with without being called out. This is what happens when you give women who don't deserve good sex all the time. This is what happens when you don't starve women out and you let them go on their own advice, even the ugly ones, for them to change. This is what happens. My video before this was they spin the wheel of misfortune. And this one adult entertainer decided to spin her wheel of who she's gonna blame on her failures. And here she go, she spent it on him. The same adult entertainer did the same thing to another entertainer with a group of women. So now they just spinning that wheel of misfortune, and they don't care who it lands on. They're gonna sit back and just tell it out. Now, let's go through her story and see if we find holes in her story. Okay, it starts this. I was at whatever house from January and April of 2017. I came to Florida to stay at the model house in SC in January. Jack Slayer was very nice to me initially, and we had consensual sex off camera. Once in the first 3 days, I was in Florida halfway through the month. Jax came into my room around 2 a.m. I was watching Bones on my laptop in the bed. He asked if we want to cuddle. I reluctantly said yes. I told him I was going to fall asleep and I didn't want to do anything sexual. After a few minutes, he took his erected puno and out from under the blanket, and I told him again I wasn't interested. He told me he was sorry and he put it away. I closed my eyes. He tried to forget about it, to go to sleep. He took his penile out again, and this time he tried to penetrate me from behind. I told him no, and that I wasn't interested and I just wanted to sleep. I proceeded to try to fall asleep again. A few minutes later, he tried to penetrate me a second time. I'm unsure exactly how many times it happened that night, between 3 to 5 times. I was extremely angry by this point, and more so, I was terrified. I sat up in the bed and told him to get out of my room. He didn't understand why I was so upset, that I was overreacting, and he wasn't going to do it again. And we could go to bed. I continued to argue with him until he finally left the room. I told Riley's assistant, whatever her name is, I feel like reading the name, other girl staying in the house shortly after, blah, 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 seemed to be concerned. He told me it was very out of character for him. The other girls don't believe me, blah, blah, blah. I had a scene with him, and I just booked for a week later for RT, Reality Kings, if people didn't know. I argued with it was fine. I thought that they would replace me instead because he was friends with everybody there. I desperately needed the money, and I never promised or talked to my shoots with Jax ever. This is the reason. I left Florida at the end of January and decided to have house when I was talking to Riley on the phone. I found out he had never believed me. He told Kyle Mason, who stayed at the house, other models at the time, 30-year-old guys paired up with 18-year-old girls, had apparently told I was such a slut that no way I said no to Jax that night. Riley told me RAP was too much of a harsh word for what happened, and he thought I made it up. because I was jealous. Jax was effing another girl. Told me 2 times not to speak badly about his agency and will be legal action, so I kept my mouth shut and put my foot in front of the other. I'm not scared anymore. I heard ramblings about this long time ago. Jack Slayer is one of the Hustle All-Star. By means, I mean one of the men involved with Hustle and should be in prison. In addition, their license disappeared. Okay, let's break that down before I head to more stuff. You gave him vagina, you gave him sex the first day you met him. You gave him sex the first day you met him, and you didn't think that he gonna want sex ever again. So initially, the guy, Riley, said you was a whore slut, which means you was a whore and slut. Why would you have sex with a guy you just met the first day and think that magically, the guy wasn't gonna want another turn? Instead, if you were so unfortunate or unconcerning or whatever, you should have got out that house from the very beginning. Now, these chicks, especially on this chick's page, she talks big like she's feminist and she's independent, but they have no character. They have no morals. They don't stand on anything. I know a lot of men, including myself, who walked away from situations where I could have been paid a lot of money, but I walked away because it wasn't worth it and I was a better person than that, so I left the situation. But with them, they like to feel like they better than everybody else and all this other shit, but they need a movement just to go out and tell their little story. Now, this happened back in 2017. There's all so many holes in there. Okay, you had sex with him. You didn't think that that was feeding the dude's ego, that women easily have sex with him on the first night. You walked in a house, opened your vagina to a man that you didn't know, but you saw on film. So you said, I wanted a piece of that BBC. And then you didn't think that this dude had an ego and you should have watched yourself with him. But instead, you let him get under the sheets. And then you kept telling him, no, 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 no. You should have nipped it in the bud. But these women think they can control the top 20% of men. And they think they can say no to these guys after they fill these dudes' heads up with all of this shit that they do. Guys like Jax has slammed like 15, 20,000 women. Women give this dude an ego. Every dude that I see in these allegations, not all of them, but the guys in the industry, in the entertainment industry, they have a big ass ego. And they think that every girl want them, which most of the 20% or 99% of the women want them. Just all the women can't have them. So when a woman gets the chance to sleep with a guy that they seen on a movie, they're going to do it. But then they think that after that happens, they got power. They got power over that man because they think they're dealing with a man. They think they're dealing with the men that they can control. But they're not dealing with the men they can control. They're dealing with men that they put up above them sexually so they can get what they want sexually. But in turn, these women don't think that, okay, we giving this man an ego and an incident like this might happen, so I might as well not sleep with this type of guy because it's gonna cause trouble and it's gonna make me uncomfortable at the end. That's the funny part. So you got the whole situation is whack. So you expect that he wasn't gonna come for seconds and third and fourth and fifths when multiple women have intercourse with him all over that house? Like, these women prop these dudes up and congratulate these dudes for having a big slang, and then think that they can control them and say no to them when, yes, you're supposed to say no. But these dudes half of these dudes feel like they untouchable because these women give them the pass to do anything and say anything they want. It's kind of like the women with the looks who these dudes worship and tell us to go and date them and go and do all this. You're dealing with two egotistical motherfuckers, but one has more power than the other. So when one turn on the other and it turns out bad, the other looks surprised, and it keeps happening because they're propping each other up. And it looks bad on both parts. But it looked bad on her because this chick thinks she's all that. Now, mind you, this is her name. Now, I'm going to get you to the text messages. So you've been accepting work when not planning on paying me. Wait. Okay. I love how every single one of you guys, I love how every single one of you guys, the second you guys find a way to F me, you guys do, no problem. You help me keeping my RAPIST in the house. Thank you. You guys were having off camera. You agreed to do a scene with him after I asked if he wanted to cancel because I needed the effing money, obviously. Effing him off camera didn't mean that when I said no, he still effed me. He's not the only black man in South Florida. The agent, the owner of the business, got it right there. Okay. He wasn't the only black man. Why did you have to sleep with a black man, an adult entertainer? Why didn't you just keep it professional? Now you see why when these chicks say that when they got a boyfriend or a husband, they don't go and sleep with guys. They lie and say they don't sleep with guys off camera. And they say it's just their job. You hear this shit all the time where it's just a job. It don't mean I do it to everybody. I don't mean I sleep with every guy and sleep with this and this and this. No, it does mean that because guess what? You do that. And guess what? Even if they got husbands and boyfriends, they still sleep with guys on offset because they're in the mood. This is probably why that chick that I showed you on the last video, that's why the nerd dude, probably dumped her and left her stranded because she was probably doing that behind the scene. And she said in a video that she made mistakes. And he pretty much like, okay, I'm out. I don't care. You was the highest point of a chick that I can actually pull. You will be my highlight of my entire life. But the biggest highlight of my life is leaving your ass. And I can tell everybody I left you and I had my dignity. And I didn't let looks rule me. So that dude she must have did something. So a lot of these chicks blame their incompetence on other people. And then call people a RAPIS. And then, but you had intercourse multiple times with the dude. And for some reason, you turn around and try to blame it on the person who owned the house. But it was your responsibility not to have sex with the guy who's in the house and not lead him on and give him an ego. But instead you did that, and now you got a problem, but you're using a word to stick to a guy that's not that because you already had intercourse with him multiple times. Now you want to put the stigma on him because you wanted to get your way, because the guy, if you look at his profile on Twitter, he's doing a lot better than she is. And he makes a lot of money, more money than she is. She not stopping his money, but she's seen him and she said, let me spin that wheel of misfortune and make sure that I want to see him lose his money, lose his status. And I'm going to make sure that he has no girls to have sex with, because I told him no. And he should have listened to my no, because I'm a woman and what I say stands. If I want to have sex, you're supposed to be on standby for me, I'm not supposed to be on standby for you. That's what it was. It was a power dynamic. This is what happens. This is what happens with these women over here. It's always a power struggle with them. And the power struggle always in with them spinning that wheel of misfortune. So pretty much he was like, if you pay what I sent in your invoice, yes or no, blow by blow, send you for a check 100. You are not speaking badly about my agency and its models. There will be legal action. I'm sick of effing with you people. That's called a booking fee. It's not your fee. So pretty much that so you've been accepting work and not planning on paying me. Thanks for waiting until after the shoot to say I plan on it until you want. And you said I lied about being RAPD. I never lied. Take me off the website. I help y'all. Pretty much, a lot of women. This is what the power dynamics does in America, where they you do something for them and then forget you did it for them. Kind of like, remember what happened? Remember that video that I posted about Honey Gold, and she forget that all her fans and all the people that she cursed out in that video, there was people that actually helped her out in her mental health illness. See, she didn't pay all them people back for giving her money when she was down, but she paid them back with screaming and yelling at them and said she don't need none of them. Go back to the video where they forget what you do for them when they get on their feet. So it becomes more of they're burning their bridges more and more. But the top guys and these guys who talk about game and swag and all this other shit that they talking about, they're not going to talk. They're not going to talk this story. I think I'm the only one who talked about that allegation with that rapper dude with the chick. I'm the only guy who actually put this kind of information out on the so-called Black Manosphere to show y'all that these top dudes are not protected. No matter how like they are by women, women will always try to control them. Even if they use this guy. They don't see these dudes more than just dildos to play with. And when the dildo wants to play with them, they call RAP, right? Now here goes the mindset of one of these guys right here, right? This is the guy that's been accused, and look what he says. If you're not going to D her down right now, don't even pull out your penis. How'd that work for you, buddy? It seemed like a lot of these women are so used to getting good sex from multiple men. They get to walk around and just plant words and put everybody under who they want to, because they got a number of guys to go to have sexual relations with. And that's not what it's supposed to be. They're not supposed to have all this power. But guys like him, well, they created the scenario. Now, I feel bad for people who didn't masturbate when they were little. And this is a chick who's an advocate for abuse and shit. But nobody checked her. No one checked her at all for this disgusting ass this disgusting ass post. But if a guy said this, then guess what? He would have been crucified. I'm sorry. If you need graphic evidence of RAP to believe women, you are a misogynist. The favorite word they use is misogynist. So a woman can say what she wants and do what she wants and ruin lives, and the courtroom's supposed to just put the guy in jail. Yeah, it's too much evidence, man. I heard similar stories about Jax then, but they're not going to tell not mine to tell. That's horrible, babe. No one deserves to go through that. I hope you stay positive, even though we're strangers. I'm here for you if you need to talk and vent. I'm a good listener. Now, this is the guys. These are the dudes. Remember how they told you to get in the gym? Get in the gym, get in the gym, get in the gym because women want you. Get in the gym, get in the gym, get in the gym because women want you. Get in the gym, get in the gym, work out. Get in the gym, get in the gym, get in the gym. Get in the gym, get in the gym, get in the gym. Well, if you look at this guy's picture, he been in the gym and he's still a damn simp. He's still a simp. So this is what I talk about with the power dynamics of these women in this country, is that they got so many guys with nice bodies, and the big peen is the fact is that they can go through the scroll. So guess what? You're never going to be picked above some of these guys. When they tell you to go to the gym, get your stuff together and stay in this market, you're just going to be waiting in line with these dudes. Because all of you going to look generic and look the same. And all she got to do is point. Oh, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. Because everybody has what she wants. So she going to be like a kid in the candy store, and she going to leave you on the shelf. They make it obvious what they don't like about the guys that they despise. But they never show the guys who get all the women. They don't tell you the truth that they also are waiting in the long ass line. And if you get where they at, you're going to be in the same waiting line. All these women, all these people, they talk about game and swag. Dog, these women heard it before. That means that they heard the same diatribe. That means they just accept and listen to it wherever they want. And then if you're doing the same thing and you don't have the game, you don't have the looks, they're going to say, okay, next. These women have numbers for every guy that comes up to them. And then they give you a number to stand in line and ask and see if you supposed to impress them. This is how it is in America. The power dynamics in dating and sexual relation and all this other stuff is on the favor of women. And they keep giving these women power by telling men that they need to be just like them. Instead of telling guys to get the hell out of here and pick another market so these women can starve out so they can be humble. But instead they want to feed these women's egos. I'm proud of you. I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Thank you for sharing. All love. Thank you for so much coming out. Thank you. Mind you, this chick Sarah was in multiple scenes with him. See, Jack Slayer is like one of the premier black African American adult entertainers. He's in almost every interracial scene you possibly can make in today's society. He's like he's probably one of the Mr. Marcuses of the interracial. Like, they always put Mr. Marcus, back in the day, they always put Mr. Marcus, before they blackballed him, put him in scenes with people, newer girls. Mr. Marcus had the scene with Bella Danger, her only black scene in the adult industry. He had a scene with the Indian chick for her first black scene with the thing. Jax be having multiple women's first interracial scene. So this dude is big. And for this chick to go do a power play because she had an encounter with him, it was just something that she saved in her pocket. Okay, I want to tell you about this too. I forgot to mention this. So I received this in my email about one of my videos, right? It says, as you may know, our community guidelines describe which content we allow, what we don't. Your video, pay attention to what they put on social media. It's like a tell-all book was flagged for us to review. We determined if it may not be suitable for viewers. With content with strong, vigorous language and sexual nature is not considered appropriate for all audience. No, we not allow this content if we know the uploader is under 18. If you believe this was a mistake. Wow. So somebody flagged my video of me telling y'all what they still. Oh my God. And this is crazy. I thought I was too low. Shout out to Maximus Rex, or I forgot his name. His name at the end is Rex. Shout out to him for saying that they was gonna flag my video and they was gonna do stuff. Cause I'm like, I don't even get 100 views. But it seemed like the right people are watching me and getting mad at what I say. and now they want to take my videos down because I must have said something to hurt their feelings in that video. So the infamous Honey Gold is out here saying stuff like this. I'm not feeling up to posting thirst traps for fee. OnlyFans, yes. Social media, I'm tired. So it's a price to look at them. So I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna dedicate myself this, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna analyze this in real life. If anybody needs help from me, especially a female, and they need to use my phone, it's $30. You need my help? You bleeding on the floor? You need some help? $30 for my phone, because I don't play around. I don't do shit for free. You guys got to start making. Men got to start doing the same thing women do. When they want you to help them with anything, say it's not free. Where your money at? Give me $30. Give me $40. Give me $50. I ain't doing this for free. My time ain't easy. Or get somebody else. Start charging them like they charging you. Basic shit is now over here is posting pictures online now is costing you now. Mind you, this is the same chick who tried to commit suicide. I decided that we are best as friends. I was only here for sex. Like I said, these women have so much sexual access. They can just they can give any man a number and make you wait in the line before you have sex with them. Who wants to be another number in a woman's category? Sound like it was, hey, had a lot of expectations, not realistic. God damn it. We ain't a couple or dating. His ego was so big and thought that I was incapable of satisfying my whorish needs with someone other than him. It was side romance. Told you. This is why, and this is, and they're trying to tell you to stay here in this market so you can be, so women can make you wait and you can be on a roster of other men, so women can have a whole roster of men waiting on standby. Oh, wow. That's so much a good privilege to be a standby man, and literally you put all this time into a female, wasting all your time talking, spitting that stupid ass game and spending money on her. But guess what? She got a guy on the side that she's going to give too fast. So it's never going to be fair. In love don't mean you're in a relationship. Mind you, this is the chick who said that the dude that she was with, Donnie Sims, abused her and all this other shit. But now she's Miss Arrogant. She miss I'm the boss now. Now, this is what I tell you about the so-called dick jokes that I see in social media when men weaponize, when men started weaponizing their penis and women started weaponizing other men's penis and other men's sexuality, they start going around making fun of people. And this is a example right here. If he wouldn't have able to fit a Magnum, theirs wouldn't be a problem. Small little dick problems. Mind you, this is a dude saying this. So these men demoralize men, but they expect you to pursue these women. So if you have a little penis, you're supposed to worship women, kiss their feet, eat them out, do all this nasty stuff to kiss their ass, but then they still make fun of you. I decided that for 3 months of quarantine, I will be someone's pet. I provide my own cage, food, leash, collar, and of course my holes are fair game. And these women signal signals like that, but then they'll turn around and say they were sexually assaulted by somebody. It's only when they say that they want you to do this kind of stuff to them, it's only for a small percent of time, and it's only for one day. They don't want you to do this stuff consistently to them. They might not feel this one today, and then after y'all get into a relationship, it's going to be stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn. It's never going to be consistent. I miss renting out my butthole for money. I miss taking all the D's. Haha, my ex was the same. Then he walked in on me getting pounded in the jackhammer position. Haha, probably the most embarrassing position to be in to walk in on cheating. Cheating is fun. Nobody called her out. No one called her out. No one said anything how bad she was. Women get to just say this kind of stuff online without any kind of repercussions. I remember the guy I fell in love with who didn't think I would F nobody else in anywhere, but he thought he was special. Laugh out loud. That was short-lived because he had a reality check when he consistently accidentally found Magnum condoms in my drawer. So she must be talking about Donnie Sims, and this is what mental illness does to women. So she said she wanted to take her own life, and she said Donnie Sims is the reason why she wanted to take her own life. But then she said shit like this and probably made the man mad, where he did probably hit her or did anything to her, but she kept doing shit like this. So she was cheating on this dude, and then she tried to make herself seem like the innocent victim. Then you probably got a lot of women doing the same thing, and then they scream abuse, and then they scream that they got treated bad. So it all comes out after this Donnie Sims dude has been locked up. And this is the aftermath, and this is the collateral damage that I just mentioned in my last video of the wheel of misfortune. Is how they do stuff to men, and they just spin the wheel, and then they just laugh. And then when it's favors to them, they spin the wheel again on what else they gonna say and what else they gonna use and what word they gonna use, and then they just keep spinning that wheel of misfortune, and then they just keep spinning that wheel. She spin the wheel of abuse, and it landed on abuse. She spin the wheel again on suicide. She spin the wheel again on victimhood, and then she spin the wheel on arrogance in people. Now she's on here talking shit, acting like about what? A month ago, 2 months ago, she was suicidal again, talking about how she couldn't handle life and shit. And you want men to walk into this bullshit? Come on now. Separating and divorcing a black woman do wonders for your health. Black wives will spend your money faster than you earn it because they ain't about struggling. I just wanted to put that up there that show you that marriage and all this other stuff and dealing with the whole purpose of this is dealing with these women is nothing but a dead end, and it's a misery. You either going to be needing these women for the rest of your life to make you feel like a man and to make you feel comfortable, or you're going to be struggling, going through misery with women, and then eventually it's going to mess you up until you get put in jail. Because a lot of these women, little bit of disbelief, a lot of these women do a lot of mental damage to a lot of guys. Even the top percent of guys they mess with, they mentally mess them up. And this is what the top guys and the pimps and the players and the guys at games, they want to pass this memory, they want to pass all this misery onto men who don't have this misery. They want you to have this kind of need for women like they have need for women. They want to pass on this memory. They want to pass on this because they struggle so hard in this market and all they have is vagina that they don't even feel anymore. These guys, I'm gonna tell you a secret. These guys use your sexless position as an aphrodisiac to stay having sex with women that they don't actually like anymore. The women, contrary to popular belief, the men that women don't like SYSBM and small penis dudes, guess what? You do make women wet. All the rejects and stuff, you do make these women wet. The idea that she can give sex to another man and make you miserable, she is picturing you in the corner, stroking yourself to her getting pounded out. That makes her so wet to the point where she keeps dealing with these guys because it's a rush to make you look like a idiot. And then it becomes laugh. They laugh in your face when you take and you do what they say, right? So they try to force you to sleep with women that you're not attracted to. And then they go ask that girl how good you was in bed. And when they know that you ain't good in bed with that so-called unattractive woman, they're going to invite the unattractive woman to go with the man that they with to have better sex. So while you're in the corner, they're going to be clicking, they're going to be, what is that? What Zero said? Clicking that click, flicking that click to the fact that now they're making you miserable while getting your girl that you worked hard, ugly girl that they force you to be with, she getting pounded about by the same man she getting pounded out, and it's turning her on. They get wet. Both sides get super wet and erect based off the fact that you can't get sex. This is why they don't like SYSBM. This is why they don't like when you leave the country. Because when you leave the country and you get women overseas, no matter if it's tricking or not, they don't get the same satisfaction having sex with these women. They need to have you here begging and wanting the same women they want so they can have better sex with the woman. These guys will get women that absolutely get on their nerves, but they hoard these women so they can take it away from you so they can have more power than you do. This is why a guy like Ramil Lamir will say pump and dump, because I don't believe in you going across the seas, because guess what? Ramil Lamir will show off his chick, but he feels like he above you, the nerd, or the educated guy, or just the plain average guy, because you didn't go to jail. You at a higher level than him because you don't have no record. So the sky's the limit. All you got to do is get an opportunity. A lot of people, all they need is one opportunity and they can surpass somebody like Ramil. No matter how long he been out here getting deals with getting deals with that big old woman. What's her name? I forgot her name. That big chick. They can get better deals because they don't got no record. And they don't have to. They're accepted more out here because they have no record and they're clean-cut men. They want you to be as sloppy as them, because if you sleep with the women they sleep with, they're going to ask the girl, is he better than me? Who hit you better than I do? They're going to say shit like that. Or they say shit like this, say my name. Don't say his name. They get a hard on, and the women get wet off leaving you in a position of sexless. And when you do walk away and say, I don't need none of this, they call you GAY and say, you're GAY. Because I need you here to make this soulless sex, this soulless relationship, this soulless pursuit. It has to mean something to me. It has to mean, man, I have to, man. I need you, dog. You're my Viagra, my mans. You not getting sex and you not getting women, and you on here complaining and me telling you how to get women is keeping me alive. Because without you guys, I wouldn't want to mess with these women. I messed with these women in spite of you. I get these women in spite of you. So all these guys are telling you not to leave or trying to convince you in marriage, they get off. Just like the women putting you in a position. And then when you try and you try and you try and you put your foot forward and you listen to what they're saying, and then it fails, they laugh in your face. You get divorced and your shit get taken you on the street, they laugh in your face. They laugh in your face when your girl is having sex with another man. They laugh in your face. They want to take your girl. They laugh in your face. It's all about dominating you and having power over you because they think that you're below them. And the best tool you have is really much saying you're an incel. Because at this point of them calling people incel, it doesn't have the same effect no more because they overusing it. Also, them calling you GAY, it doesn't have the same effect anymore either. So now all they can do is make videos and complain about you going overseas and call people dirty feet and you need game, and they can continue to do this diatribe. But the fact is, the women that they don't want, the women that you don't want, means that they're failures at life. The women that they had sex with, they use game. They want you to work hard for. So the woman that they had sex with, they could turn around and say, I got it for half the price. I had it when she didn't charge it up. That means I feel more special than this dude because he got to do this and do this and do this. But I need a game. They want you to be under them. And when you walk away and you change the scenery, you change your environment, they have no power anymore. I have seen this in my life before, where when guys don't have, especially when guys don't have other guys to talk down to, they turn on each other or they completely change up. Have you ever seen a used to be Pookie and Ray Ray who don't have anybody else to talk down to, and then 3 years, 4 years later, that same dude who was talking about you getting women and all this other stuff, he got bored with that life and he decided to do the same thing that you was doing. Then he changed because he had no choice but to change because he got bored. You keep these people alive. The fuck? Thought a bee sting me. Just touched me. You keep these motherfuckers alive. You keep their sexual market alive by being in it and pursuing these women. Because the fact is, when you have sexual relations with women, ugly women, they take those women and have sex with them just to spite you because they think, okay, I got a bigger wiener than him do, because I gotta watch my language now. I got a bigger wiener than him, so I'm gonna make this girl moan and groan because this means that I'm better than him. Or I'm gonna take his girl, I'm gonna talk to his girl without his function, and I'm gonna G-check him. In the black community, it's all about it in general. There's websites right now of cheating girls, dudes walking around loving the fact that they had sex with other people's wives, get turned on by it. And then women like, yeah, I love that. My husband be watching me get pounded out because he had a small penis. And I'm like, and you want me to jump in this market where this shit is dysfunctional like this? Do you really think that I'm stupid enough to jump in this shit? Huh? I'm not gonna do it. And that's the biggest secret that a lot of people don't get. These guys might tell you that these women don't get wet off you. My mans, they do get wet off you. They get wet from the fact that you can't get them. They get wet from the fact that your shit ain't getting wet from nobody. That's why they always turn to sex. This is why they always turn to you don't get women. You don't get women. You don't get women because that's their main thing to use against you. And then the second thing is money. Then the second thing and the third thing is your appearance. Whatever you have, appearance, weight, height, penis size, they do that. They need you in the market so they can feel real. Because without you, there wouldn't be no adult entertainment. There wouldn't be no OnlyFans. There wouldn't be these women arrogantly walking. Eventually they get sick of each other and get tired of each other. Look at my video called look at my videos and called the dark side of the big bucks. I changed it. The dark side of the bed bucks. Look it up. And if anybody want me to put it in the link or whatever, if you care, look at that joint and I break down a whole bunch of adult film stars that it leaded them down a dark turn. Because eventually when you're on top and you have nobody to talk down to and put down, eventually you end up crashing hard. Because ain't nobody that you can go against. I heard guys, they have a mindset of, yeah, I feel good taking women that other guys want because I know I can do it, and that makes me feel stronger than him. This is the words of a person that I ran into on Facebook. Like, look, man, stand strong. Go overseas. Going overseas is not giving up. Getting yourself out of this market is not giving up. It's making sure that they don't have some kind of advantage over you. Because at some point, you better make sure that your wife is honest with you. Your wife is actually your wife. Your wife. And one thing that I actually advocate men to do is pretty much hire a PI. Hire a PI 3 months, every other 3 months out of the relationship, see if this girl is cheating on you before you even marry her. Get in a relationship with her and see if she's a so-called good woman. Because a lot of these good women get off on cheating on good men. And a lot of these guys get off on making good women turn bad and turning them into so-called whores. Because that's what they like doing. To them, life is one big orgy and one big sex fest. It has no responsibility. These people have no responsibilities. These people, all they have is accusations and blaming people and victimhood and all this other stuff that they use on the wheel of misfortune. The men spin the wheel of misfortune as well. The women are not the only one who spin the wheel of misfortune. You think that? Forgot to say that too. The women and men use the wheel of misfortune on anybody they can. And this is what they do. They hold it off. This is what's out here, man. And I'm happy that I left myself out of circulation. I make it painfully obvious that I don't give a fuck what none of these people are doing. When I talk about the things I talk about, I tell them so. When they call me an incel, I say, okay, I'm an incel. What is about it? It means I don't have to do shit. That means that whatever you say to me doesn't really affect me. And they get mad because I take away their power. That is the whole point of doing this. Taking away their power. The things they use the most, take away their power. And once you take away their power, then it makes them feel like dirt because they can't control you. This is why they talking about SYSBM. This is why they talking about incels and MGTOW, because incels destroy their euphoria. Incels destroy their Viagra, they aphrodisiac. Incels destroys it. It destroys the dynamics of they can take your girl. You don't have a girl. Oh, he attracted to me. And if you say you're not attracted to the women they're attracted to, they go all crazy. And they can't fathom to be attracted to the women you're attracted to. But they'll do it in the spite. They'll try to have sex with the women that you got in order to spite you. And you know, some of these dudes ain't into Asians. And then they be like, oh yeah, Asians don't got no big ass and this and this and that. They look like this, they look like that. But if they know that that's your wife, like, I'm not gonna speak ill. Like, imagine SKC show his wife. I bet you these dudes gonna disrespect her. If Mad Bus Driver showed his wife, I bet you they'll disrespect her. She Russian. Kidda Gregory Jones shows his wife. They disrespect her. The women that they can't get to, they gotta disrespect. That's why they call them dirty feet bitches. Colombia, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, Germany. They don't like these women because they can't touch these women. And the women they slept with, it wasn't at the same time you did it. So now it takes away their power from them. It takes all the power away from them, from magically saying they had sex better than, they had more sex and had better sex with the women you picked than you did. That's what it's all about too. Is that they want to make sure that y'all have the same, y'all with the same type of women, and they want to compare you with themselves. Like, I had sex with your woman, and she used to be my whore. She used to suck my penis in the back of the truck, and you wifed her. Ha 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 ha. But they can't say that when you overseas, when you got a wife over somewhere else, or a girlfriend over somewhere. The only thing they can do is talk about her and say that she's with you for money, which is a shaming tactic 101. She with you for money. She gonna leave you, and all this other dumb shit that they bring up. They want to have power. They want to have so much sexual power over you. That's why it matters what woman you get with, because they want to be able to control any woman that's with you, because they feel that you're not supposed to have no type of freedom from them, because you wasn't born with a big slong. You wasn't born tall. You're not popular. You're not the chosen one in their community. All they want is to control you to the point where they want to control what you eat, what you sleep, who you have sex with, because then they can take it all away or make fun of you. When you leave, they have no control over that. And also, they want to know your business. Also, that's also one of the things keys over here too, because a lot of women like to tell your business. The women, the so-called ugly women and the fat women and all that other stuff that they try to get you with, these same women will sell you out. Even if you be nice to them, you marry them and something, they'll cheat on you with the better looking guy, and they'll tell your whole business to the other guy. And then he'll know all your business. He'll know everything about you. He'll know what your size about, how good you are in bed with the girl. And then they embarrass you and walk around and embarrass you. That's what it's all about. So, I'm in this video, man. It's they got another one. They got another one. That's what happens when you give them a lot of power over you. Give them power over so many concepts.